Good morning. So, what lovely trades have we got setting up today? Well, that's a question, isn't it? Before we get onto that, let's just look at the news events that are coming out. First things first. We'll just review yesterday's data in the end. Then, Germany services slightly less than expected. They're not far off though. Manufacturing improving. The French data, oops, there we are. Both improved on expectation. Still, not solid growth there, but moving towards it. So much better looking numbers coming through there. The UK put some bit of a mixture out there. Manufacturing dropping off, but the more important services really flying there. So important figures there. And the US in the end there put also good figures in both on manufacturing and services, flying along there with both those numbers. So today, around about 1 o'clock ish. Now I've got different times here. Got sort of 3 p.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m. We'll see what time it actually is. But we've got Fed Chair Powell speaking. So the markets are still hanging on there. Whilst the US growth picking up, etc., and there may be some thinking, well, don't really need to cut interest rates at the moment. It gives them more power when or if they need to. There's still the general belief that rates will be cut in September for the first cut anyway. Right, but we'll just see if Powell just sort of agrees with that, or their view on the actual markets would be quite key this afternoon. Of course, that goes on through Saturday as well. There's quite a few speakers there across Saturday. So if you're considering holding over the weekend, consider that. Right, let's look at these markets. We'll start off looking through from the Euro first, if you can. It's going a little bit weird for me here. Right, daily, so see it's got there. Right, so you see the euro just on from a daily perspective, just continuing its little drop off there. More importantly, you can see it lower highs, lower lows on the 4-hourly here. This weekly one shows it quite nicely. This current week has been the breakdown yesterday, looking quite soft, and I put this regression channel on and yesterday morning, and just looking at where things were going, and we're discussing sort of the movement. It looked at one stage like it was going to come straight back down towards the mean there, but it did it later instead, and then ran down towards the bottom side of this, which has become a channel now, but it's really a regression level with the average price there with two standard deviations each side. So it's not anything I've drawn on as a proper parallel channel. Anyway, I say it's working well. But for now, we've broken and gone on the weaker side. It's whether or not you can find support here to come back up, in which case it might be again a shot to short again. Looking soft, but from where it sits at the moment, if it was to continue rolling over post 8 o'clock, the S2 could be in play. Of course, we could just break out a little bit stronger from this move, but with the symposium coming on later, it might just slow up a little bit here. Now the pound's been good to me this week. Once again, yesterday it set. It's been in a stronger downward trend, or it already started a stronger downward trend. The last couple of days has been, as I say, being pretty decent. Early afternoon, starting the price action, and off it's gone. Yesterday I was talking about in the morning, not to go in too quickly. It was looking like it was going to go straight away at 8 o'clock and pull over. Patience there, saw it coming back into the pivot. In fact, it came back. I did draw a trend line on this, and we're discussing the 50 and everything else. Came into that, but it sort of stalled around the area and didn't do too much. And then again, midday, off it started moving, and well, went further than I expected there, and it's carrying on pushing through at this stage. But again, I would be waiting for a bit of a retrace here. We've got to be a bit careful on it. There was divergences sitting around on this, and it was looking like, well, it might have cracked the divergence and continued at one stage. When it failed and just stalled here, well, off it went. US dollar yen. It's running a little slow now. It's just so we finally managed to push back above its monthly pivot there yesterday. Much weaker move in the market in the end. Off it pushed. Looking on the softer side of things, but well, it might still come back down towards its daily at this rate, but I'm not looking to trade on that. I'm really, as with the other markets, looking for it to continue in trend. So if it was to come back down here, I'd look for the reversal movement and look to be buying. Although I'm saying that's in theory. The reality is, with the Jackson Hole Symposium, Summit, whatever you like to call it, it might be worth keeping the powder dry. The Australian dollar, unless we see something really nice this morning, quickly setting up. Australian dollar continues to roll southbound. It's not really brought me into things because largely it's been moving quite early in the morning. Then what we're seeing is a bit of a continuation. Yesterday, look, it never really moved any further, and today, well, I'm not into that. So keeping clear of these markets that are a little bit flatter. Canadian dollar's moving slightly better, but again, well, it has actually moved now above my key pivotal area. This level, as I said, it's support and resistance from months or even years previously. Going back there, it's quite a key area when I put these green lines on. They're sort of significant lines. It's pushed back above that now. Looking more positive, more easy to be trading the long side on this, but where it's sitting at the moment, just coming to a bit of maybe a standstill where it is here. We could just see it continue through today, but it was slow, and again, it's really a case of waiting for this afternoon. I'm not looking to push through too early into any of these markets unless, as I said, they're really showing something clear. New Zealand dollar, same as the Aussie really, it's pushing up, or down in this case. Where we are, there we are, down. The dollar strengthening, but it's broken again some key levels, broken through yesterday, day before yesterday actually. We broke through his market, so it's another market for me to steer clear of. Okay, aside US dollar Swissy, really, this has been, come back, there we go. This has been really struggling to do anything too much. Yesterday picked up a bit. It's starting to pull away from here, but really would like to see it pulling through some more. We've got to be careful because with Powell's speech, we could see the dollar moving quite strongly either way. So it's quite a shifter, and this has already moved quite well yesterday. Again, it's another one that sort of moved there in the afternoon and started moving well, but for now there's a lot of sit on hands cases today, and sometimes as I say, staying in cash is a good trade, waiting for what's happening. Yesterday morning this almost set up and didn't set up, and fortunately didn't set up, although it probably wasn't too far off of it. It needed to get right the way up here to hit target. It would probably be close to break even or hit break even, the trade I was looking at in the trading room in the morning. But it's again here looking for the potential reversal. We'll see what happens. I don't have anything right at the moment, but it's gone into a bit of a drift there. You see on the 4 hour is just starting to high lows coming through. It's whether or not it's got the legs to break these prior highs that we couldn't get through like in the earlier part of the week. Right, I don't have a lot else there now. Normally I have something to run at, but there's not a great deal going on there. I'm going to just come back to the usual suspects. Gold. So gold, when it finds itself, there we go. Yes, they ended up coming, but it's just again really just to really stay out of it. Mostly, it looked like yesterday. Well, at one stage it looked like it was going to push the upside. It completely went the opposite way. Mid-morning there, it's well worth waiting a bit on gold. Broke to the downside, didn't even come back to its S1, but it didn't go the way I thought it'd go, so just stand away from it. Oil up about 1/3% this morning. It's been a bit slow on this morning. Need a reboot. Picking up a little bit, oil on the dailies there, just continuing. Funny old day there. Yesterday just fell back there, and switched back in the afternoon session there, having hit the pivot. It started picking into this sort of trend there, pulled back. It was quite some chunky pullback. Looks around about 50% retrace there. Looking a bit more positive to the upside. Right, equity markets, S&Ps. Really not liking these at the moment too much. There we go. So the S&Ps continuing its southbound journey on the dailies. Still very small bars. Well, again, Powell could change things around here by becoming a little bit more dovish. I don't think he will be, but if he does, that would be such a surprise, because it'll surprise me as well. But still really looking on the downside here. I get a feeling this could just chop around a bit this morning unless comments start coming out any earlier, but it looks to me like it's destined to chop prior to the meeting there. FTSE. I should say there was a. I was looking at it yesterday. I'll just come back to the Dow here. So if you were looking and shorting these markets yesterday, he says. Come back to it. There we go. The Dow was the one that did eventually take off from the break of the lows there, and hopped its way down. But the other markets were a little bit short of their pivots, but still. They've certainly become scalping targets, if nothing else, in the afternoon at the moment. But for now, I should stay clear of those. Sorry, I was coming back to the FTSE briefly, if I may. It's going on a bit of a go slow for some reason. So the FTSE yesterday, didn't like it in the morning because of what it had done the previous day. It did eventually get a turnaround there into the pivots. If it's going to freeze on me here, yep, it's switching back on me now. Sorry, it does this from time to time. It's when I haven't rebooted this computer for about a month, so it's probably time I did. Or did no, it refreshed itself. Beg your pardon. Since that time, but yeah, pushing up yesterday afternoon. This morning coming off again. There's probably divergence across the highs here. Let's just click on here. There we go. Big divergence, bearish divergence across the highs there. Of course, for me, the trading point of view wouldn't. I say for me, I'd be waiting for the break of the low between two highs to get more confirmation of that. Otherwise, it could just be drifting along here and catch you out and put a new high in. So waiting for confirmation of that, but it does look soft, and I am continually surprised at how much the FTSE is pushed up, bearing in mind everything else that's going on. But we know there's money coming in from abroad that's been pushing these markets. The DAX, if it's going to click on the DAX for me, maybe this is where the system crashes. Oh no, it's gave me the DAX. Right, DAX yesterday did just drift off there, but it's very choppy, not really too nicely in range at the moment. I need to see something a bit clearer coming from this, so not anything I want to be doing quite yet this morning, but the drift is to the downside. There is this slight drift to the downside. You see it better on the dailies there. 4 hours, very bitty, and as I say, I'd prefer not to be in this market when it does this. There's no point. So sit on my hands again today. I wish you well for now. Certainly, there's nothing immediately I'm keen to take. I'll wait and see what happens with the news later, perhaps. Wish you a good day. Great long weekend. It's Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, so I'll speak to you on Tuesday. Take care. Bye for now.